everybody. Welcome to the Inspirations from Above podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Angel, founders of SoCal Revival Fest. With me, alongside of me, we have Natalie, our other host from New Vision 360. Natalie, you got any words to say?
Yes, guys, we just want to give a big shout out to SoCal Revival Fest, who is providing a community Christian hip hop event up here in the high desert, where everyone from tuned in from 93.5 can attend this free event that we have going on. With this podcast is actually called Inspirations from Above, where we're doing promotion with the amazing artists that we have going on. And we're just excited. We're excited for you guys to get to know a little bit more about these artists. For those who may not know the ones that we have coming out to perform up here in the high desert. And today we have a special guest. Adrian, if you want to go ahead and introduce him. I'm
Angel. My name is Adrian ROJO, singer, minister, rapper. Super excited to be on this podcast with you guys. How are you guys doing today?
Man, super blessed, bro. So we want to get into it, man. Can you share a bit about your journey as a Christian and what led you to your first encounter with God?
Absolutely, bro. So my parents are actually ministers, so I was raised in the church, as a child, going to like four churches on Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad actually does kind of like the same thing that I'm doing. He goes and ministers and sings and preaches to a bunch of different churches. But yeah, I grew up in church, but my first encounter with the Lord, I think I was about 12. It was actually at a rap event. It was at a rap event, yeah. And I think Z and EGR were there. And that's where I had my first encounter with the Lord, and I actually got baptized after the event. So it was super dope, man. It was truly a blessing. But prior to that, I grew up in church, you know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect at all, so I had my slip-ups and all that. But my parents, at a young age, they already let me know what was right, what was wrong. So thankfully, because of that, I'm super grateful. I always had conviction set up on me as a very young child. So
that's good.
Yeah,
that's good, man. Go ahead, Natalie.
Yeah, I think that's just awesome. It sees that. I feel like the pattern that we see is, even in my life, is where sometimes that, we may have grown up in a Christian household, but, it really takes our own encounterments with the Lord to really get us to where we're at, to be walking in His purpose. And it's beautiful to see someone who is inspired to do things for His kingdom and, just outreach in different ways, right? With music and creativity, where people need different stuff like that, right? To encounter the Lord in different ways, because it's a different experience for us all.
Yeah. And for me, bro, like I grew up the same way too, man. We were in church all the time. But one thing that always stuck with me was God never left me even when I was doing my bad stuff, right? Like He always had His hand on me no matter what. And that's the same with you. Like you said, you had little slip-ups here and there, but God always had His hand on you. You know what I mean? When was the first time where you, like, your slip-ups and then you decided, you know what, I'm just going to go all in, God? When was that time?
I want to say when I hit 12, that's when I wanted to start rapping and singing and stuff like that. So I was like, trying to get myself to go, doing events and stuff like that. Where I really struggled was when I was 16, I got the opportunity to go play professional in Uruguay. It's right next to Brazil. So I had to leave my family and everything, basically go fully independent right when I turned 16. Right. So that's where I struggled the most, is when I left my parents, you know what I'm saying, for the first time. And I was still super young, and I was going to play a sport, you know what I'm saying, and making a certain amount of money. So that's where I really had my struggle for, I want to say, the first 2 years of me playing soccer and living on my own in a different country. After that is when I really took a hard downfall, you know what I'm saying, and started encountering the Lord, because I think it was right when COVID hit, and I was locked in over there in the country, you know what I'm saying, with no like my family's not there, you know what I'm saying? I'm just locked in a room. So that's when it really, like, you know what I'm saying, I was really able to take a turn,
Right.
from, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that I was doing and all that, my addictions and all that. So I was able to really, you know what I'm saying, after that, have a real encounter with the Lord, and kind of from there be able to stick 100% with, you know what I'm saying, with the Lord. Obviously, after that, you know what I'm saying, you have little stuff like that, but I want to say that was a big part of my life where I was able to really take a turn for my life.
That's it. That's it.
So we wanted to know, how long have you been making music, and what has inspired you to make Christian hip hop?
So I started making music at 12, but it wasn't quality. Like, it was just kind of like the start. You know what I'm saying? I was just slapping rhymes together that didn't even make sense. Like, one of the lines I used to use was like, "I'm in the hood with my boom clap."
Boom clap. What's a boom clap?
So I was referring as, like, you know, when you're in the hood, you got they got the 12-inch subs in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And it goes boom.
Boom
So
clap.
I was like, I'm in the hood with my boom clap, stuff like that. So it was hilarious. I still remember, you know, rhymes that I used to put together, and I'm like, man, that really doesn't make no sense. But yeah, I want to say I started at 12, and then it really got serious. I want to say about, like, after I came back from soccer. So I think once I hit like 18, that's when it got serious, and I started making, you know, investing more in my craft and my ministry.
That's
This
it.
is a really question that we have set up, but I mean, you mentioned that you were playing soccer professionally. Do you feel that God kind of somewhat led you into, you know, more of the music versus like your career playing soccer?
Absolutely, because my story is, you know what I'm saying, and not to boast about it, but just being honest, like, you know, it's very rare for you to just enter high school and have a professional team contact you, hey, we want to give you a contract.
Wow.
So yeah, so actually the last team I actually played for was out there in LA, LAFC. I played one season, but after that is when I really stopped, just because we were going through a tough time with, you know what I'm saying, me and my family, and I was having my first daughter at the time. So we needed to really financially figure out what was our next step and what we were going to do. And the Lord just kept closing doors in soccer. And it was super rare because I came out of Uruguay as a top goal scorer. So I had a big prospect in soccer. But for my doors in soccer just to close, like, completely, I mean, like, I wasn't even getting picked up by like third division teams. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely a sign from the Lord that He wanted me to continue doing ministry, and stick to that.
Wow. That's amazing, man. You went through a journey, right? What was that process when you had to stop and you had to make that decision? You know what? Let me stop soccer and focus on music. You know what I mean? Like, what was that sign that told you, hey, you know, I need to stop. I need to,
I mean,
you know.
it was tough. I mean, I love doing music. So, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted to do music, but I never really believed that music could have sustained as much as, you know, a check in soccer would.
Right.
So, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, but my wife now. I actually went to a tryout in LA, and, you know, we drove, and I got accepted. Right. After they let me know I get accepted, she's kind of like, hey, you know, I feel in my spirit like, I don't think you're supposed to be playing soccer no more. And I'm like, I get super upset. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I just, you know what I'm saying? We just sacrificed, you know what I'm saying, our last few bucks to get out here. I get accepted to the team. They're offering me a contract. And now you're telling me that you don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm supposed to be doing this. So one thing I learned is that sometimes, you know what I'm saying, the Lord won't necessarily always speak to you because you're blinded by a whole bunch of stuff, right? But He will speak through your significant other or through somebody that, you know what I'm saying, that you're with, that has more of their antennas turned on, as you could say, that's not as much as in their flesh as I would.
Yeah.
So it was hard. It was a real hard transition and thing to accept. But after that, I mean, it was like I said, I love doing music, so it
Yeah.
wasn't like, oh man, I was upset for a couple weeks, you know what I'm saying? But after
Yeah.
that, I did start to see the Lord open doors in my ministry.
Yeah.
So
Man, that's good.
So yeah,
So
I feel like you
for
definitely needed to take a leap of faith, and sometimes that's what it comes down to is that, we have to really just trust God with it all and really see what comes from all of that.
wow,
yeah.
that's it. Now you sit back, bro, and we want to ask you from A to Z, what's the creative process of making a song from A to Z? Like, how does it start off? How does it, like in the middle, and then like when it's a dope song, like what do you do after that?
So I think everybody's creative process is different. For me, I wish I had as much time as I do, but my time is always very cut short with a bunch of activities that I do. So I live an hour and a half away from my studio, right? So I want to say about when I'm driving in that hour, I listen to all my beats, you know what I'm saying, that have been sent by producers or, you know what I'm saying, through my files.
Right.
And then I write while I'm driving on my way to the studio. And then once I get to the studio, I lay it down, they do the mixing. Sometimes we send it to a different producer to stems. The stems are kind of like the different part of the beats.
Yeah.
And then he sends it back, and then my producer fixes, my vocals and all that. And yeah, usually by then the song is done within the same day, and when I finish the session.
Right.
Yeah, after that we just kind of plan, you know what I'm saying, what type of, if we want to do a big release behind it, you know what I'm saying, like if we want to really plan it out, or if I just want to put it out within like the next week or something like that.
Right. Do you have to, you hear the beat and then you start writing the lyrics down, correct? Is that how everything works?
Yeah, so first I get a melody.
Right.
I get a melody for it or a flow. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like if it's a rap beat, then I usually just start flowing. I start saying random stuff, but I'm really just looking for the flow. Right. Once I get the flow, then I start writing to it, or once I get the melody, then I start writing to it.
That's good.
But yeah, I mean, the Holy Spirit really provides me with the rights. I mean, with the lyrics to be able to lay the track down.
That's so really what we're about here at Inspirations of Above, is where we get that inspiration from, where we get the creativity from, the ideas to put together events like this, the same vision behind it, where we all kind of come together and we make something happen that glorifies the Lord, and really where all of that comes from. And that's what we're all about with the festival, with here New Vision 360 Radio, and it's just exciting. It's exciting to see the movement. It's exciting to see people who are passionate about creating music for the Lord and what that process looks like. Adrian, you want to ask the next question? Angel, you want to ask the next question, and then I'll ask the next one.
Yep. So we want to introduce everybody. Adrian Rojo is actually one of our main stage artists for SoCal Revival Fest, June 29th in Adelanto, California. So make sure you guys come on out, man. Adrian, I want to ask you a major question, bro.
Yeah.
What's your expectations for SoCal Revival Fest, and what do you expect God to do through you on your set for the people in the community of Adelanto?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, first of all, I want to say I'm super honored and excited to be part of the event. I've had high expectations. I know it's going to be a very big event. I mean, there's multiple heavy hitters on the lineup. You know what I'm saying? It's a rare big festival that we see come around like this, right? And for you guys to put on something like this, I know it's going to be great. Um, I mean, I truly believe every seat is gonna get filled up, and also the pit. So it's gonna be great. I know there's gonna be it's gonna be the start of something new, something way bigger. And I'm super excited to be part of it. I mean, I'm gonna take my drummer out there, so I'm gonna make sure I have everything as high as quality as possible to be in par with as high as quality as the event is.
Yes, so for all those who are tuned in to our Instagram live, we want to give you guys a big shout out and you guys an opportunity to go ahead and get your free ticket, a general admission to SoCal Revival Fest. We are here with New Vision 360 Radio, and Angel from the founder of SoCal Revival Fest, and we have our guest today, Adrian Rojo, who is an artist that could be performing at SoCal Revival Fest. And we are just interviewing him here on Inspirations from Above so that you guys can get to know a little bit more about him and the artists that we have coming to this event.
So good. That's so good. I'll ask the next one. That way. So this one is a little crazy. If you guys don't know, Adrian Rojo is actually the founder of Ignited Fest. What inspired you, bro, to start the Ignited Fest festival up north?
Absolutely. And it kind of it kind of piggybacks off of what Miles Minnick said a couple years ago, and when he started Glowfest, we get skipped the Bay Area and the Valley, especially the Valley too. We get skipped a lot on, like, you know what I'm saying, Lecrae's, Hovey's, and a whole bunch of other people's tour stops. I think recently this year you know what I'm saying, one of them, KB, is coming out here. But besides that, like, we get skipped on a lot for festivals or something. So I wanted to try to do something as high as quality as possible. So for example, like for our next event, which we're going to be announcing next week, we got a building that fits up to 1,500 people, right? With LED, big production, you know what I'm saying? So we want to be able to have a very high quality event that, finishes with an altar call, praises the Lord, but at the end of the day, it's also as professional that we can compete with the secular.
Good.
So that's our main thing right there. And the Lord's hand's been all through it, as we reach out to headliners to be part of this event, and they're just like, yeah, I seen it, I want to be a part of it, let's work something out. Is just truly a blessing to me. But yeah, man, that's kind of the reason why we started Ignited Fest out here, is because there's not that many gospel, or you know what I'm saying, there's not that many big festivals in the area around over here, the Valley and the Bay Area, a time of year. So we wanted to make sure we was able to provide that for everybody around, the youth, you know what I'm saying, the young adults, the older gentlemen, ladies, we wanted to be able to provide something quality.
I can't put you on the spot, bro, but can you mention one opening person to the Ignited Fest?
Yeah. So I'll throw one out there. We're gonna have Young C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go.
So we're gonna have Young C. It's gonna be his first time part of Ignited Fest. So we're excited to have him out there.
That's crazy. That's
super exciting just to see the community of people who aspire to do things for the Lord and to provide dope, cool events, right? Festivals where we can just have a good time, right? Us young people who are on fire for the Lord, who just, have a passion to do things for the Lord and not want to compromise their faith. That's what we've been talking about, is that I feel like having these types of events opens up the doors for people who have a passion to serve the Lord and have a good time on these weekends where there's better stuff to do now, right? Where we have events with amazing artists and that just provide an entertainment that is just glorifying God, and there's no compromise in that. And I think that's what's really is important about it. And that's what it comes down to, is just realizing that we love the Lord, we love to worship him in all different types of ways. And there's just so many different people. That's what I've been realizing with the radio, is that there's so many different genres and different types of music and things like that people enjoy listening to. So it's important for us to provide something like that, who have the vision, who have the potential to do that. And I just salute you for being someone who is providing that in your community, where you've seen that there was nothing like that, and now you're able to create something.
Yeah.
So that being said, because you are a big part of that, we wanted to ask you, what is a testimony or a message or someone that has encountered something that you've done, your music, and they were touched by it, or something that was like a heart-to-heart moment with something that you have done?
Absolutely. So it was actually at our last Ignited Fest, where we've had 3 Ignited Fests so far. Yeah,
Okay.
3. At every single one, there's not one, there's not one event that we go by that we don't save at least 2 or 3 souls.
So good.
Um, and I'm talking about, like, not people that are coming back to Christ. I'm talking about people that, what I'm saying, just never had a relationship with Him, and we were able to be used as a vessel and as a tool to be able to bring light and the Lord into their lives. But one thing that really marked me was at our last Ignited Fest, and it's truly humbling to have this experience happen. So between the middle of our Ignited Fest, it
Yeah.
started raining like storm outside, pouring like crazy. Like, like thunder going on. And I see a kid in the crowd when I'm performing, and he's like just dripping wet. Like, I'm talking about, like,
Yeah.
he had long hair. You can see his long hair. You have long hair. You know what I'm talking about. When you come out the shower, it's just like soaked.
Yeah.
And I get off of stage, and the pastor from the place that let us provide to use the place, she said, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this kid that literally, he walked in the rain from his house. I think he lived like 15 blocks away, but he walked in the rain just to come see the event happen, see me perform." So after that, I went to my merch table, and I literally just grabbed one of everything that I have on my merch table. I gave it to him, prayed over his life, and that was just a true blessing to see. And I mean, even like when I see other people, you know what I'm saying, come to the event, and right, the incentive is to pull up for, you know what I'm saying, somebody they look up to and admire, right? But at the end of the day, if we're able to use that to then after transition it and give glory to God, I think that's the best part, and something that marked my life by seeing these events happen.
Man,
Mhm.
you have no idea what you did to that kid right there, bro. No idea. You know what I mean? I remember this one time. So I was given a chain that said, I was given a chain and it said, "Follow your dreams," right? And I'm in Texas. We're doing an outreach, and we were doing outreaches at this apartment complex for years, or for a year. And I remember seeing these 2 kids, man. They weren't, living a luscious life, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
But they had the heart of God, man. Like they wanted to touch God. Like every time we would have something, they would come out. And it was my last week there at the apartment complex, and I just remember taking off the chain, and I gave it to the brother and sister. I said, "Here, you guys hold on to this. Follow your dreams." And man, like a year later goes by, and it's one of my friends. I said, "Are they still there?" And they're like, "Yeah, they still wear the chain. They still rock it." And it's crazy because a gift, it goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like that was your hard-earned money, bro. That was your money that you forked out, man. But they don't see it like that. They see it as you gifted it. Then you gifted them something amazing, and now they're gonna take it forever, bro. And
yeah,
without that, man, like who knows where that young man will be? You know what I mean? Who
yeah,
knows if he wanted to give his life up that day, and you just sold into him. You know what I mean? That's heavy, bro. That's
yeah.
heavy.
Absolutely, man. I truly believe, like, in order for somebody to, so for example, like, let's say we're just walking in the street, right? I walk past you and I try saying something to you. Hey, what's up? So if I say, hey, what's up? Hey, have you heard about Jesus? Right? Let's say you're not really religious. You're just gonna be like, nah, man, I'm good. I'm chilling. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Thank you, though, and you keep going. But if you come and you present, hey, look, this is for you, brother. Give them a gift, right? It automatically opens up the heart. So then they're willing to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So that's always something. That's why it always says, you know what I'm saying, you gotta give, in order to receive. But
Yeah.
if you give somebody something, they're more likely to listen to you than if you weren't to give them nothing.
Right. Right. Ooh, that's heavy. I got a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
Come back to the industry, the music industry. What's one thing that you would change about the Christian music industry? And what would it be? Like, if you were to step back and be like, I would love to change this about the Christian music industry, what would it be?
Okay. I don't know if I want to say less more change, right?
Right.
But I want to say it would have to be within the business side of it.
Okay. Okay.
And you as an event owner, know how the business side of it can get.
Yeah.
So I would want the business side of it to be more, you know what I'm saying, more smoother, so we can focus about it being ministry. But I completely understand, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
But I honestly, man, I don't think I'll change anything. I don't think I'll change anything about it, because I truly believe, there's reasons why Christian hip hop was the way it was in 2000 and 2010, and then the way that it is now is because we're going through seasons, right, of transitioning to where you gotta keep up. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't change anything. I mean, I think by itself through the years it'll start to develop into different things and different seasons of it.
Right.
But I'm honestly super proud of it. To see the standards just be taken higher by my fellow peers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just for people that are coming behind, right, to be able to have more open doors than it was before, right? So, like, for example, Lecrae paved the way for so many, you know what I'm saying, Christian artists that, want to have quality.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing is, like, I would love for everybody that makes Christian music to make quality.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because they're representing us, they're representing the kingdom. So maybe if somebody could invest a little bit more in their craft or put a little more into it, right?
It's good.
Because we want quality. I think I'm so big on quality and and stuff like that. But I'm honestly super proud about of where we're at and where we're standing, because our standards are just getting pushed higher up and more every single year. I mean, I can comfortably say we're getting to the point where we're competing with secular people.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that.
That's so good.
Yeah, I think it's really cool to just see the transitioning and the Christian events trending, like you said, like Miles Minnick, who is also someone we have coming to the event, and just so many different people who are now either trending on social media, who are working with big artists, like you said, who already paved the way. I think that's what it comes down to, is coming together as a body and realizing what position we play in that, and so that we can all orchestrate something that gives glory to God. And that's really what it comes down to, just being obedient to the call that God is calling us to do, so that in this last movement, so that in this season, we can rise up as people who like represent God, who are light in this world. You see, the world doesn't have a way of like dimming down the things that they do. You know, they go all out and above for the things that they do and what they represent. And I think it's important for us to be just as loud about the things that we value and the things that we represent, and how to be light in this world and to make the difference. And yeah, I think that's really what's going to bring the change in our communities, right? There's so many people that need healing. There's so many people who are broken and hurt, especially after the season we just went through, where so many people lost people in COVID, and we're finally getting to be able to come back together once again. Like, you know, the enemy was trying to stop the movement of what God is doing, you know, because when we come together as a body, we change things. We set things off in the heavens, down here on earth, you know, and we help people come to their healing, come to who God is for their life, because there's nobody like God who can truly do a transformation in our lives. And I know that each one of us can vouch for that, and where he has taken us through our journey, and how he's even brought us to this place where now we are somebody who are being used as a vessel to be a blessing for someone else in our communities, and using our talents for the Lord. 93.5 has been a project that the Lord has really just been orchestrating and shining light on these Christian artists, right? Because there's so many people who aren't familiar, who maybe aren't mainstream, who maybe are, you know, like being put on secular music, because they're not trying to expose those things to our community. They don't care about the value of what they put out. And at New Vision 360, we do. We care about what you're being fed. We care about what your mental stability is at. We care about your healing. We care about your families, you know, and we want to see you prosper. We want to see you grow in the Lord, because we've seen the power of God in our lives.
Amen.
Jesus.
Amen.
That's so heavy. That's so heavy, man.
So, you know, we kind of just want to wrap this up. And with that being said, we want to ask you, so what is one message that you would give an upcoming Christian artist?
I think one thing that I was saying before is quality. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Maybe sacrifice that weekend outing of going to the movies and you know, going out with friends to save money for your studio or for your next projects, to make sure that it's quality. So that's one thing I'll say for sure. Like, quality can do a big difference if, you know, whether if you record, you know, and you try to mix your own music with not that much experience, then giving it to a professional, as while you're learning how to get to that level. I would say invest in your music. Definitely invest in your music. Like, I mean, I've invested, and I can comfortably say this, more than a bunch of $1,000s into my music the past years, because of quality, and I've seen the difference of it. So, yeah, I'll just give them advice as far as just, you know, don't be cheap.
I think people don't realize like how much sacrifices and efforts and continuously being consistent in the things that God has placed in our hearts to really get to the point that we want to be. People want things to happen overnight, and that's not how it happens. You got to put in the work. You got to show God that you're being faithful in what he's calling you to do. And that is how it all begins. And the doors just begin to be opened. And yeah.
That's so good.
That's great advice.
That's so good. That's great advice, bro. Real quick, guys, we're going to do the VIP tickets, and then we're going to get out of here real fast. Let me just pan this over. Just real fast, Adrian. I'm sorry. Got to get this done real quick, and then we'll close it out. We're going to spin the wheel.
Let's see who's going to be the winner.
Oh, man.
VIP tickets, 2 VIP tickets.
2 VIP tickets.
Marley 122, you are the winner for the 2 VIP tickets.
Congratulations. Congratulations. You will be part of the VIP section where 93.5 will be hosting in that area. We're super excited to have you, Marley. Thank you for participating in our contest to win the VIP tickets. And yeah, it's been a blessing to be on this podcast with Adrian Rojo. We're super excited for your performance and to have you at SoCal Revival Fest, and to be a part of 93.5 New Vision 360 Radio as well.
Man,
thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. It's a true blessing for me. Thank you guys. God bless you guys.
We truly appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been such an amazing podcast. We'll see you guys live next week as we have another guest artist with us. Adrian, thank you for your time. Natalie, thank you for your time. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Stay blessed.
Stay blessed.